Don't do 6 hours then.
I'll try not to. Gonna try not to. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So, did you bring your cook? Oh, yeah, right there. Fantastic.
No idea.
Fantastic. So, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. As you can see, I'm trying to get all set up with all of my undercolors on our canvas, which is exactly what you need to do if you're going to have a black canvas show like this one. So, let's get this all on there, and then I'll tell you exactly what we're doing. Welcome to the 1000th painting. I'm not even ready. I don't even have my shirt on. I got nothing. Nothing ready to go. So, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. Oh, it's 1000 paintings. I can't believe it. I've gotten that far, that many paintings, in just 4 years. It's crazy, and most of them have come just this year. So, it's because we paint a lot. Now, let me tell you what I did. I took a big 36 by 36 inch Pro Series canvas, the big thick ones, and then I covered it in our Bob Ross Liquid Clear, which looks just like this. Still in the midst of trying to get set up. So, Bob Ross Liquid Clear, just like that. Fantastic stuff. Makes your canvas nice and wet. Stays wet throughout the entire process. And we might be here for maybe 2 hours. I'm figuring we'll do this whole thing about 2 hours. So, if you're ready to have some fun, stick with us. Remember, this painting is available for sale. It is $1,000 for the 1000th painting. I thought that was kind of fitting. So I don't really expect it to sell during the show. Who knows, though? It is 50% off. And it's free worldwide shipping anywhere in the world. So if you want it, it's available there to buy in my Etsy store, paintwithjosh.etsy.com. Now, what I'm doing is taking a little of our Indian yellow, and then a little of our sap green, and then our phthalo blue, and we're putting it across the top in different sections like that. And I have them kind of meld together just a little bit in the middle where they meet on each color, and we just kind of blend it back and forth. It's fantastic. Just fantastic. Right, all we need is a little bit of color across the entire canvas. You don't want to have unpainted bare black canvas, because when you cross it with white, there's nothing to blend out, right? So, let's keep going. Now, I figured we're going to wash this brush off, and then add a couple more colors, get everything all set the way that we want it to be, and then we'll be ready to go. So, in the meantime, you're going to tell me where you're watching from and what is your favorite Halloween candy. We just passed Halloween. I know you probably still have some left in the cupboard, in the bag, in a bowl somewhere on top of the countertop. So what's your favorite Halloween candy that you have left anyway? All right, what do you got left? You got those crappy dots? Or like Tootsie Roll Pops? Like you got those? What got left in your candy bin? Tell me that. Now, I'm going to get a little bit of my crimson. I put out 2 different crimsons here. We have our crimson from our Meaden set and then the crimson from our Bob Ross set. So we're going to mix a little bit of both of those. I'm going to grab a bit of that crimson onto the brush, and we're going to put it down in here underneath that bluish color and just let it spread out, right? All we got to do is let it spread out, intermix with the blue up here. It's going to be fantastic. We don't really want it to mix with the green, right? That's not going to be too good if it does that. So a little bit of that Meaden crimson, throw it on there, let it mix in. We're going to have all these cool little colors, giant mountains, and all sorts of different stuff. It's going to be awesome. Now, let's go back into our phthalo blue right on top of that crimson and come underneath this yellow section and just have it meld in with that crimson-y bit. Take it down to about a foot from the bottom of the canvas. And that way we'll have all these gorgeous colors just intermixing with each other all the time as we paint. And that's the fun part, right? There is no perfect way to do it. There's no, it should be this way or it shouldn't be. Yours is going to look a little bit different than mine is, which is going to be fantastic, right? They're supposed to look different. If they're all going to look the same, then you guys might as well give up, and it'll just be Paint with Josh, and that'll be the only artist in the world, and it'll be all boring, right? No, boo to that. So, don't ever worry about it trying to be exactly the same as mine. It's not supposed to be. It's never going to be. It's never going to match perfectly, right? Now, what I am going to do is use a brand new color that I bought. This dioxazine purple from the Gamblin set. Boy, oh boy, I used it in Tennessee when we did that class out there for one of my purple seascape classes, and it came out amazing. Better than any purple that we could mix together on our own. And so I'm going to use that dioxazine purple, and I'm going to have to get something else to put it on because I don't have much space left on my palette. Let's see, what if we do it right here? That's all I really need. All we really need is a place to put it so I can get the paint on it and then get it onto the canvas. That's all. Oh, it's such a pretty color. Woo! So, guys, this is the 1,000th painting. I can't believe it. Woo! 1,000 paintings. Can you guys believe it? Hey! We got the crowd involved. 1,000 paintings. Take our purple, we're going to put it down here. Just like that. Got to get a fair amount of it onto our brush so it will stretch across and we'll have this gorgeous purpley ocean scene underneath our giant mountains and our portals, and it's going to be awesome. Oh, have I not told you what we're doing yet? We're doing 3 portals over mountains, over a seascape. It's going to be fantastic with clouds in between. Going to have waterfalls coming out from every scene into the clouds. It's going to be awesome. Take our purple, just filling up the bottom of the canvas. That's all we're doing. Filling it to where we don't have any black canvas left. It's got all sorts of color all over it. And that way they'll all intermix. Watch this. We can take the purple and the blue and the crimson and just throw little differences in there, right? All on the same brush. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Now, let's come in. All we're going to do is paint with some white paint now, and it's really going to shine through all these pretty, pretty, pretty colors. So if you're ready for the 1,000th painting, let me know in the comments right now. Say, I'm ready. I'm ready to start painting Josh. Let's get it done. Knock this sucker out. Boom! A little of our purple bit up here in the crimson. Why not? Why not? All right, let's just do it. Let's do it. We're going to cover our edges as well, just so we have a finished side of our painting. And that way, it doesn't look like it's unfinished. A little bit of coverage along the sides, all we need. Man, this canvas is big. My arm's hurting already. A little bit of paint on the edge. That's all you gotta have. Man. Woo! This canvas is just about as big as this easel can hold. Fantastic. Are you guys ready? Are we ready? Let's check the comments. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. A little bit like that. Let's rock it, they say. Let's rock it. I like that. I like your enthusiasm. Remember, if you guys are watching over on YouTube, give me a thumbs up in the comments. Look at all that purple that we used. It looks black. It nearly looks black, especially on that paper. It's all soaking in. So, if you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you leave a thumbs up. And the more thumbs ups that we have, the more people are going to see the video. So, that just helps out everybody. Now, in order to create a portal, you need some sort of circular thing, some sort of stencil. Right? A lot of times you can use like a paper plate. You can use a paper plate, you can use a paper bowl, you could make something like I did. Right? I went and made something specifically for me, the size that I wanted it to be. Right? So I have a 12-inch circle, which is basically the size of a 5-gallon bucket that I put on top of the cardboard, and then I cut it out. So I have a 12-inch circle, and then I went and found some 8-inch cake pans, right? Just little 2-inch by 8-inch cake pans, and those are going to be our smaller portals on the side. So, in order to do a portal, we need to get some white on our brand new GAC Doctor fan brush. I just opened up this thing, brand new pack for this brand awesome new painting that we're going to do, right? A little bit of white. Don't have to have a lot. It's really going to shine through really strongly. Let's go for our green one first. Plop it right there. And then, boom, gonna take a little bit, gonna hold it against the edge and just go very lightly around the side. It doesn't have to be a big thick line. You don't have to have 10 tons of paint on there. Just a little line down the edge. Come back up here, connect. And as you can see, if you blended it out correctly, right, we'll have blue, green, and then yellow on this side. Now, Let's take our brush. Let's start on the lighter side. I'm just going to drop out a couple little bits, little streakies of light that are shining out different places, kind of like the hands of a clock. Right? Don't need to add too much paint. As we come over here into our green and blue side, you'll really start to see it shining out. A couple little longer bits in different sections, right? Doesn't have to all be the same. Now, don't move your little portal piece, because we got to come back with a 1-inch brush. Oh, what a stretch right there. 1-inch brush, and then come back in and really slam on your edges. Pull them out. Make them nice and soft. They don't have to be the same on everything. Right? Doesn't have to be the same amount of drag. You can drag it out very lightly, very strongly in different places. Very rough. Right? All depends on what you want it to look like. Just like that. You got a wicked portal, all these different colors around it. Fantastic. We don't need that big one anymore. Don't need the big guy anymore. No, we don't need you either, Siri. Thank you. You're coming here like that. Just grab it against the edge. Little places. Bottom doesn't very much matter because we're going to have a waterfall sort of fall out of the bottom there. So, it doesn't matter what happens on the bottom. Just take our edges and pull them out as long as you want. They're going to intermix with some other ones as well. So, the further you go out, the more it's going to kind of touch our other portal. So dumb. All right, I'm going to go over here like that, over here like this, boom, 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 and pull it out. Bingo, bango. We're going to take around the edges very softly and kind of make the edges of our circle very soft. Then you'll have this eclipse, a little portal hanging out. It'll be awesome. Pop out any longer little streaks of paint. Soften it by making your little circle. Very cool. Now we can put something inside that circle, right? And once we go inside the circle, then we start to have a lot of fun. Gonna have a whole lot of fun. All right, now, let's take a little teeny tiny bit of our white. A little small little bit. Maybe we'll come back in here and let's pop in. Oh, look at that yellow with the greenery. Ah, it's all changing. Get a little bit of blue clouds over here. It'd be really cool. Drop in a little section so those clouds can kind of blend together, right? That's all we need them to do. Sort of blend together. That way they're not all the same amount of paint on each section of the canvas, right? Sometimes there'll be a little bit darker areas. Sometimes you get a brighter area. We go up. Don't want to touch our portal. Keep everything inside. But all of a sudden, as you mix these down and down and down and down, you start to make very cool little soft little bits of cloud. The more you mush and blend, the softer it becomes as the light travels down. Right? You can take it, you can go this way, you can go that way. You can mix it up however you want. Just have a little poof of cloud out there. Very cool. Very soft little things happening out in the night sky, right? Very neat. Very neat. All based on our pressure, right? How hard we're pushing in certain places versus how light we're pushing in other places is what our little portals are going to look like. Now that we got some clouds in that portal, let's go and just for good measure, let's go around and make our other portals just real quick. We don't need a whole lot of paint on the brush. Now that we know where the first one's going to sit, let's plop our second guy right there. And we're going to go around his edge very lightly. Just the softest little touch. I don't even want to touch it as thick as that line over there. Right? Just a little baby line. Little teeny tiny little line. Coming down, just like that. Ready? Boom! Man, that's cool. Such an awesome little technique. Now we're going to take our brush again, make little teeny tiny streaks in different places, because this guy doesn't have to be as bright as the bigger guy up there. So, less little bits. Less little bits that are going to streak out. Boop, boop, boop. Just like that. Very cool. Very cool. Come up right along the edge, take these guys, just make them a little softer, and dragging it out. This guy should be more yellow than anything else, as we're mixing it all up. Taking it around the edge, pulling it over here, pulling it over there, all over the place. Making it nice and soft, just like that. Come around the inside of it, very gently, little circle. You got a cool little portal out there. Another little eclipse. It's a triple eclipse. The trip eclipse. It's going to be a fun title. Gonna be fun to title this one, guys. So remember, you get to choose the name of the paintings, of the painting, as the show goes on. Start coming up with a name for it in your head. What do you think it's going to be? And then, if the painting sells, then the buyer gets to choose the painting, and we get to spin the big wheel. And if it doesn't sell, then I get to choose the name of the painting. So, is that level? Are those even? They look even to me. Are they even?
Up a little bit more.
Up here?
Yeah, just a bit.
Like that?
I think that's better.
I think so as well. All right, so right there, come in a little bit. All right, let's do it right here. So very lightly around the edge. Ooh, this one's nice and pretty and blue, guys. Very light. Remember, it doesn't even have to connect along the bottom because we're going to be dumping a waterfall out that way. Ooh, just like that. Come in here, little streaks. Don't need to have them as crazy bright as the big one, right? And the reason I keep my little stencil up here is so I don't go inside of my circle with my brushes when I'm trying to do my quick little streaks like that, right? Oh, so cool! So cool! What's this one looking like on the screen? Oh, it looks amazing. Just looks amazing. Yeah. Man. We got no people watching on TikTok. I almost want to end the stream and start it up again because we got that dumb warning from the, oh, don't send people away from TikTok. It's dumb. I have a store. It's not a TikTok shop. I'm sorry. There we go. Very cool. Now, let's come back in here, stretch this guy out just a little bit, just grabbing him with the 1-inch brush, not trying to make it any bigger necessarily, just trying to soften it a little bit, get those little auras to intermingle with everything else. Pulling it down like a clock, though. You got to pull them out just like the face of a clock would be. Otherwise, it's going to look all strange. That's very cool. Just like that. Again, around the side, very lightly, not using much paint on the brush. Therefore, we're not transferring much paint either, right? All right, now that we know where our portals are going to be, everything looks fantastic. All right, let's come in here now. And we'll go, should we do all 3 portals like simultaneously, or should we do them one at a time? That's the question. We could come in, we could pop in another little bit of like blue cloudiness over here, just a little touch. And we might want to clean the brush off because when we go to do our little yellowy clouds, we don't want them to go too green. I mean, they can go a little green, but let's say we went this way, we went that way. So let's do a little of both. Come down like this and up over here. However you want it to be. That's how yours is going to look. Now, maybe I'll come back and do this yellow one first, just so we don't blend too much. All right, kick it up there like some cumulus nimbusy clouds over here. Wicked. Just wicked. There we go. Turn the head off. The back feed. There we go. Look at that. Oh, awesome. Just 10 different million ways that you can make a little puff of cloud out there in the distance, right? That's all you really need. Just a little paint, a little pressure, and a little paint with Josh, right? No, a little practice, of course. Of course, the last P is practice. Everybody knows that. Very cool, guys. All we're really doing at the base is bringing down a little of the color, right? So we can come in and pop in little trees and different things, and it'll just kind of contrast off of that color. That's all we've got to do. All we got to do. Whoopsies. That was a mess. There we go. That's what happens when you just let the paintbrush fly out of your hand and land on the table anywhere. All right. Now, what do we do? What do we do? Let's come in. Let's mix up some of that deep, dark color that we like to mix. Our deepest and darkest of mixtures, right? The ones that we make all of our trees and our rocks and our mountains and everything out of. Let's get some of that going. And if you know what those 3 colors are, then tell me in the comments right now as I go to mix them up. We'll take a little of our blank, a little of our blank, and a little of our blank. And we're going to mix those guys into this deep, dark mix. Now, who knows what that color is? If you know it, type it in the comments. If not, keep an eye on the comments, because somebody's going to type it in there, and then you're going to know the answer for the next time, right? Gotta know the answer for next time. So, who knows the answer? Anybody? Anybody got the answer? Black, blue, and crimson says Tinker right there. Pin that comment. You guys are awesome. Watching from Denmark, Bakersfield, Lancashire, England. Just all over the place we got people watching from. Now, let's go back, take that same little fan brush, run it back through that black, blue, and crimson paint. It's a deep, dark, purpley paint, and it'll stand out against all this other light, right? So, maybe on this guy, we'll do a bit bigger of a scene. So maybe we'll have a couple little trees as they come popping down and push against the canvas so it doesn't bounce so much. These big ones, you know, a lot of bounciness, right? Look at all these little things just contrasting off of that light color in the back. That's why you have to bring a little bit of that down. Just a little bit of it, right? Don't want to have too much. A little bit of the light color down. Now maybe we'll come over here, grab up a bit more. Maybe this guy has got a bunch more up here. Maybe he comes down. Maybe since he's smaller, he's just going to take up this whole little portal just full of trees. All you got to do is tap them all in, fill in all of that mix. Creates this deep darkness back there, right? We'll come over to this guy as we jump across, and then maybe, maybe that guy has no faraway trees. Make him different. Why not? Why not? We'll make him a little touch different. So, with this guy, why don't we come in here, a little bit of pressure to drag those trees. You don't want to drag them all the way up into our clouds, but you do want to have a couple little bits of those spiky little things out there. Same thing here, dragging it up, dragging it up. Now with the base, look at that. Oh, look at those cool colors in there. Oh, that's so neat. Oh, I love it. Now with the base of these, we're going to tap against the canvas, mixing all of that darkness with just the corner of the brush. See it? Pop, 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 pop. Mixing it down, just becoming softer. That way it's not as thick as it is up here where we get all those drag marks, right? You kind of knock it down, you soften it, and that way you can place something else in front, right? We're always trying to layer these things. So the more thick paint that you have, the less layers you're going to have, right? Keep it lighter off in the distance, you get more layers come out. So, very cool. Mix up the bottom, just like so. Even in our little 8-inch portal with a 2-inch brush, still mix it all up. So you get that little contrast back in there. It's very neat. Ooh, it's spooky back there. Now, what if we're going to switch, actually, I'm going to save this brush full of that paint. Let's switch to a different brush. Oh man, that Red Bull's got me burpy. Burpy. Red burps is what they should call it. Okay, we're going to come back in here, getting a little bit of our white paint onto the thing, and let's decide, maybe on this guy, we had him coming from way back here. We're just going to start going side to side, very lightly, little things that get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as they come towards us, right? Smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller away. Get this little like path sort of thing. Looks kind of funky, right? And then maybe we drop off a little waterfall right here. A little bit of white paint on the edge. A little double waterfall right there. Falling first, right? Then we take his water and we slide it back towards the side. So it hit that side, came over here, fell. Then let's grab a little bit more, and then we work it a little bit this way. Bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Right, as it gets towards us. We get hit, started coming back, and then we'll fall right out of our little waterfall. Just like that, into the abyss as we come out here. And we'll just fall down, right? A little bit. Action like that. You can fall off the side over here, however it wants, right? And then we'll go back and make it look better and do all sorts of different things. Now, maybe this guy, right? Maybe our blue guy over here, maybe, just maybe. Ooh. Then we'd have to, all right, you know what we're going to do? We can take a bit of this, we'll take our thing, we'll add like a far off, like flat little mountain top way back in here. Just kind of pull it down just so we have that dark color against our light, kind of taking everything away from our light, right? Get the soft little mesa top back there. And then perhaps we had a little waterfall falling off of that guy way in the distance, right? Getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Maybe rotating over here. Maybe rotating again before it falls out into a little waterfall right out here, right? It's nothing to it, guys. You just kind of plan it out. Let it come out into your head, right? Fall out from this far off little thing that happened way back here. Maybe you had just a little touch of like mist way off in the distance, right? Way off. Now that guy, I like to soften just a couple times, just so he's not the same texture as here. Make a couple little bits. Straighten out our bit of water as we're coming across. We're not going to see everything, so don't worry. And then you can always go back and make it bigger if you wanted to as well. Okay, just like that. Get a little river as they start to come through, right? Nothing too difficult, guys. And maybe this guy, since all of our other ones, we did one coming from the left, one coming from the middle. Maybe this guy comes from the right. He comes from way down here and starts to bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Each time. And then as we take it and stretch it out, it's going to stretch, right? So you get our little water coming from every different place. And then you get to a point up here where maybe you had to turn and fall off. Right? However you want it to do. Very cool looking though. I like it. I like it already, guys. What do you guys think? Now, I come back in, take my 1-inch brush and go very lightly across each one, kind of stretching it, softening the bit of water. Right? You can make it as big as you want, as soft and velvety as you want it to be, just like this guy back here. Right? And then we go back and we add in little different things, different bits of brightness. If it needs to be a touch brighter in a certain space, you add a little bit. Right? Bring it out, bring it over. All depends. We're not going to see every piece of water, so don't worry about what the whole thing looks like. We're going to go back and cover over it and hide different pieces, right? Now, maybe back there it looks like there might be like a little teeny tiny falls. If we can just get enough of our white paint to just look like a little fall back there. Hey, just like that, you got a little thing happening. Take the base of it, pull it off, top of it, pull it off just a little so you have a little bit of disturbance back there, and that'll look like a faraway waterfall. Now, let's come back in, since we got our mountain. Over here, we need to add a little bit of softness, right? Just mixing it up into little circles, just like we did with our mistiness, just so you can add more layers onto the top. Okay, so maybe this guy back there had a bit of grass on him, just a touch. Actually, that's a blue scene, so let's go with a bit of snowiness, right? A little bit of white. As we come in here, I'm just going to tap in, back in there, tap it around here. Soft little things that are happening, right? And we'll add some land to it. Add some bushes and some trees, maybe way off in the distance back there. You had a little bit of softness. That's all you gotta have. Just a little thing out there. Now, over onto this guy, we'll get our bit of our dark color. Maybe grab up a good old little bit of a pine tree right here. Little evergreen, right? Coming in, just slapping up against the canvas, creating all these cool little branchy shapes. And the more that you go, I'm trying to stay out of your guys' way. The more that you go up or go down, the more that you're pushing out on the brush, creating a bigger, fatter branch as it goes down. All right, so maybe this guy over here, maybe he had like a far away little skinny tree. Set right down on the grass back there. Maybe next to him, he had a little friend as well. Just another little evergreen scene in our kind of mountainous portal out here. Just like that. That's all you gotta do. All you gotta do. Now, maybe if you take your 17-inch long paint with Bram liner brush, right? I mean, it's not really 17 inches long, but it's a long brush. And it's a long old brush, guys. And I like giving Paint with Bram crap about it because he's my good personal buddy and I can do that. So, we're going to come up here in all this light color. We're going to grab the thing and then make all these little branchies off of it, right? You can make all sorts of little sharp little things that come off, shoot down in different places, different ways. It's really cool, guys. All these little things that can happen. You can drag it all the way up if you wanted to. Create bigger branches, come off here, little short guys, little small little things. Right, however big you want it to be. This liner brush is wicked for that, let me tell you. Now, I might as well keep this guy up because we're probably going to use him again, but I do need to get a little bit. If we're going to have like a little snowy winter scene, we're going to have a little bit of our liquid white and our phthalo blue color and make it nice and wet. It doesn't have to be super watery wet, but you have to have it that same kind of, where's our light going to come from in this whole scene? Should we do it that way? Shoot, guys, I'm lost here. No, you know what? We'll put them on the back side. So off the back, I'm going to add a couple little taps of our tree branches, little things, right? Doesn't have to be the whole thing. Don't have to cover up all of the darkness. Just a couple little bits of blue that are on top of those bits of dark that are kind of holding everything together, right? Everything's nice and held up. This guy had a whole little branch that was disconnected from the tree back there. Very cool. Just wipe them away. It's all good. Come back in, add a little bit of darkness back in here to help that distance. There we go. Beauty. Now we're going to come back, get a little bit of that liquid white, and then go into our titanium white pile. And you can see it's a little bit bluish because we've got the blue on our brush, but it's not as blue as it is over here, right? We're going to have it stand out against all that blue with our little taps. And that way we'll have a brighter side of our tree and a little slightly little darker side of our tree. And that'll project those shadows for you. Really cool little things. You don't have to have too many details way off in the distance. Doesn't very much matter. Take our little bit, flatten it out back there so we stay on that piece of land that's happening back there. Right? All about how you separate these things. A little bit of dark line underneath. Help our water and our land stay separate back here. And if we do that, a little bit of light right on the top of that darkness. That creates our water line up against the edge back there. Very simple. Very simple. Now, let's get a little of our, grab our little Bob Ross half round brush. Just like that. Dab it into our thick pile of paint. Nice and chunky and nasty, and maybe up into here. We hide some of that water line. We hide some of our water. Hide some of the things. Let your bushes kind of grow out over the edge. Same thing underneath our little tree guy down here. Add a couple little bits. Bam, bam, bam. Right? It's kind of growing out over the side of the portal. Those are my favorite things. It really adds more depth when you get out there. Right? And that way, a lot of times when we're doing our tall, branchy trees, they'll stick out of the portals like that. Just adding another layer of depth. Now, we'll come in with a little bit of our liquid white paint. Right over here. Some of our titanium white, a little bit of our liquid white, just so it'll help it stick, come off here. Actually, you know what? Let's go into a little of that blue as well. Just a little bit of our blue first, get it off the backside, right? Backside and the underside. Now we'll go into a little of our white on the other side of the brush, tap in a few little things, little bright areas, little dark areas. You get these cool little things happening out there. Very neat. You can see if we can get a couple little light, yes, little light colored branchies popping up out of there. Very cool, guys. Very cool. And then, there we go, soften them where they start to come out. Very neat. Now, let's go get a bigger fan brush. A lot more of our white paint, right? And that way, it'll dump out and be a little thicker right here along the edge. We can get it, it's a little brighter. We can have it roll out as far down as we want it to come. Little things back in here, little bits of like moonlight, some sort of something that's happening back in there as it's rolling forward, coming down. Very cool. Soften those little guys back there. Very soft, right? Turn the brush vertical so you're not trying to drag too many things down. It'll drip out like that. It's very neat. Now let's move on to this guy back here. He needs a little bit brighter on his water back here, and then this guy we're going to fall out and be brighter as well. So all depends by the time we get down there. You don't want all the water to look all the same, right? Differences, lots of little things that are happening in there, little different things, right? Come out with this guy, and he falls down a bit longer. Down like that. Dragging it off to the side. Some of the times you can get a little squeak out over the edge. Very cool. Very cool. Now, let's go with a bigger tree in this guy, sitting down here on some grass, I would imagine. So, if we had some grass in our green scene, we're going to take a bit of our sap green, a bit of our cad yellow, just a little bit. We don't want it to be too stinking bright. And then we'll come back in here and just start tapping in little bits of grass. Live along the edge of our river back there, right? Little things. Doesn't have to be crazy. Doesn't have to be super bright. You can even get a few way back in here against the edge of our forest. Way back there, right? Very cool. Now, some of these, I mean, you could take them and droop them down. We could have, ooh, We could have flowers hanging out of the portals going down into the clouds. There's an idea. There's an idea for you, folks. Just like that, a little bit of greenery. We'll put some rocks in this one. Get a little more room, right? So we get our dark mix. Come up in here with our knife. Just very lightly lay down a little bit of that darkness. Don't have to have a lot, but you have to have something there in order to collect our highlight color. If you don't have anything there, it's going to be harder to do. Just letting you know right now. Just a little piece of rock back here. Just a little thing. Now let's come back and mix up a bit of our brown, a bit of our yellow ochre. Put these guys together and they make a really neat color. Look at that color. Very cool. Grab some of that guy up. Come along the edges. Just little bits. Little bits of light, little bits of dark. You don't have to cover every single piece. Right? Not everything's all going to be the same. You get cool little things out there like that. Now, if it's too thick in certain places or you had too much, go back, you can scrape it off and then redeposit it down to be a lighter or a darker color because it's constantly mixing in with those deeper, darker colors that are on the canvas, right? That bristle out of there. He's going to live in there forever now. He's there forever. Now, let's take a bit of our dark mix again on our Bob Ross half-round brush. We're actually going to have to mix up a bit more of that dark mix. So if you don't know what it is, check the comments because there's going to be tons of people that are saying what that dark mixture is. And if you don't know, now is the time to figure it out. Why is that brush over here uncleaned? Now's the time you're going to figure it out. So, what are the 3 colors that we like to use in order to make a deep, dark, shadowy mix? And those colors are going to be found in the comments by all of these people commenting. Look at that painting so far, guys. That's really cool. Really cool. Crimson, black, and blue. Right there. Claire, pin your comment right there. Blue, black, and crimson, says Roberta Harris over on Facebook. We've done 3 paintings in 37 minutes. That's kind of insane when you think about it. This painting will actually have 5 paintings in it by the time that we get done. So a little black, blue, and crimson. We're going to mix those guys up into our deep, dark mix that we like to use. Now, when I say black, blue, and crimson, I'm talking about the Bob Ross black, blue, and crimson. Not necessarily our crimson from our Meaden set, which is a much wetter paint, right? We might use that as our couple little flowers on something here, there, or somewhere else. We basically use it as a undercolor, and that way it'll shine through when we hit it with that light. Now, with our dark color all mixed up, and then we take a little bit onto the brush, dab it in there, and then right out here, we're going to come across, you know what, just real quickly before that, let's mix up our little bit of watery mist back in here. Just a little touch, right back in there. Our water falling down, hitting, rolling over. Very cool. Very cool. Take this guy, spread out the water. A little over here, a little over there. Just making it soft. Come out, over the side and down. All right, they don't all have to come down the same distance because we're going to catch them in some clouds. So don't worry about that. We're going to catch them outside in some clouds. Over here, popping in our little bush. Now, like I said, what if we had this guy rotate and go over the edge? We've never had that happen. I've never let him fall all the way out of the portal before. So, I think for this guy, I think that's a cool idea. So let him kind of hang down, dribble outside over the edge of the portal. I think that's a neat idea. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's kind of cool. We're coming here, going to dab up more of that big old thick paint, covering up our water, right? You don't have to see every piece of the water. And then again, this guy with a lot of thick on there, we're going to dangle out a couple little droopers as they hang out over the edge of the waterfall. It's going to be really cool. Really cool. Make sure it's really dark in there, though. You don't want to have any other color shine through from that spot. And if we're going to go there, we might as well come out over the edge like that as well. Very neat, guys. Very neat. Very neat. Now, let's say this other dude, right? He's going to have just a couple back in here. He's a little softer little scene. He's not so crazy. A couple little hangers that are hanging out the side. Going over the edge. A couple more over here as we dab them up. And fall down. Dip, 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 dip. Just like that. That's going to be cool. Now, with this guy, I want to take a bit of our, I'm going to have a little bit of foreground in this guy. So I'm going to get a bit more of our dark mix onto the paint. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to come straight down from up top of the portal all the way through, bang, right into our little guy. It's going to add so much depth and distance in that thing. All right, maybe on this guy we'll have a little smaller of a dude. Boom, coming down right there. It's like field goal. That's cool. I like it. I like it. All right, let's grab a little bit more of our odorless mineral spirits back into our little branchy brush mix, that blue, black, and crimson mix. Come into here. We should be able to see a lot of these branches because there's so much light color on this side of our canvas, right? So many light little, colorful little bits and little pieces of yellow in different places where it'll just bounce off of contrast, man. Contrast. Come up in here, little streak, little flick, a little bit over there, one over here. Very cool, right? The darker you go, the less paint on there, the harder it is to have them come off. So make sure you got enough paint on the brush. Couple little things to happen out here. Little branchies everywhere off this guy. I love him. He's so cute. Come over here, one more big guy off the side, and out the edge of the portal on that side. Very neat. I'm going to do that. Let's match him on this guy as well. I like giving him a couple little bends, too. Like you see me popping my hand, that'll help it kind of give it those kinks in your branches that you want. The little kinkies that we want to have. A little flip out there, a little tiny flick over here, a couple little guys off of our bigger branches, a couple ones that never grew very far. Very neat, guys. That's a cool painting so far. So far. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm not liking this viewership on TikTok, though. This is supremely low. And I got one of those warnings from the TikTok shop again. Telling people to go somewhere else is bad. So, you know what? I'm going to end the TikTok stream and I'm going to start it right back up. All right, let's do that right now. All right, guys. Sorry about this. And there we go. I'll get everybody back in here now. All right, remember, if you're watching over on YouTube, give me a thumbs up. If you're watching on Facebook, tap the screen a bunch of times. All the little emojis should be popping up the screen and populating. And we're going to have a good time. Okay, let's come over here. And if I've got all these dangling down, it kind of looks funny if this one's not. You know what I mean? Like if this one's not dangling down, he looks a little funky. So let's grab a couple little bits and we'll dab them off and just hang them down off of that guy and go light them up again. Wash off our brush, get it all clean and ready for our next piece. All right. Over here. Just like that. Fabulous. All right, a little bit of our liquid white just to help our little guys as they come down. Little teeny tiny taps though, like nothing too crazy. You don't want it to be too bright. You don't want to have too many little bits. Kind of turn the brush on the side even, just so it has little things that it can touch. Very cool. That I like. Now, let's do this guy in green, and then we'll do this guy in yellows and greens. It's going to be awesome. So a bit of our green right straight onto the brush, that sap green. And if all of our shadows and everything are going to be on that side, we need to put that sap green down into here. And down over onto that side. It just changes the color just a little bit. All right, it's nothing too crazy. Just changes it a little touch. Adds that little bit of earthy greenery under there. And then we're going to do the same thing for our guy over here. All right, this guy, a little bit greenery in here. Not trying to cover up all the darkness either, though, right? That's not what we want to do. You don't want to get rid of all the dark bits that we put down. That's the good part. That's the bits that you want to save. Those are the pieces to save, everybody. Very cool. Let's see. Remember, if you're watching over on TikTok, tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwiches over there? Get rid of all of our little thingies. We'll have to cover those up. Now, like I said, we've gone through, we've made our sort of wintry portal. We've got our summer portal, and maybe this will be our springtime portal. Something to do like that. Didn't really plan it out like that, but that's just how it's shaken out. And before we get rid of all this deep darkness on our brush, we need to make our last big tree. Right? So this big old tree is going to come in here. He's sitting down like that. Just a monster. Right down in there. Right? It's going to have all sorts of little branches coming off of him. But the majority of the branches all get covered up with our leaves and stuff. So you don't have to worry about... Looks like a claw. It's like... Come out and claw you! You don't have to worry about all of those different colors and different things. You know, or all of our little branches. You don't have to worry about those because they're not going to really shine through, right? We're going to come in here. We're going to hit it with all sorts of deep darkness. And that way, you can't see any of those branches, right? Once you can't see them anymore, it doesn't matter. Like, you don't need to paint all 10 tons of them. You can see just a few hanging out in there. That's exactly what we want. Just a couple hanging out. Dude, maybe we could put a rope swing on this guy. Should we? Should we do a rope swing? The crowd wants a rope swing. Let's do a rope swing on this guy. That'd be cool. That would be cool. Let's see. All right, now, in order to place a rope swing inside of a painting like that, this small, on a little tree, we need a little bit on our liner brush. And maybe we'll come out, little touch, small little thing. Maybe a little lower though. Very small. Now I'm going to get the back side of my knife, just a nice little short side, and then we'll create a little seat right there. A little sideways seat. That's cute. That's wicked cute, guys. All right, come back with our grass, a bit of our yellow ochre, our cad yellow, and our sap green. And just go back in here, kind of fix up where that tree's sitting, shapes up its base. Very cool. Very cool, guys. This guy back here, we need a little touch of light on him because he's lonely. A little lonely in the night. Right there. Just a little touch of that light color on the side. Now, same for this guy. He needs a bit of that brown. Just too much brown. A little teeny bit of the brown on this guy. Just in different places. Remember, we're not trying to fill the whole tree full of brown. Little bits. Doesn't all have to be the same. And if it's too thick or too bright, you go back in and just kind of mess it up a little bit. All right? Mix it up and it'll start to dull itself down with that darker purpley color until it's just perfect. Just perfect. Now, let's go back in with the with our sap green and our cad yellow. Actually, let's just go cad yellow. See what this looks like. Just a little bit. As we come in here. Oh yes. See how that just it's mixing in with the green and the dark color, and then you just get those little bits of brightness out there, right? Maybe it's an orange tree or lemon tree or something. Very cool. Little bits hanging out in the night. You want them to be a little bit brighter than you would normally think because it's going to dull its way down as it dries. Right? Very cool looking little tree. I like him. Whoop, whoop. Like it. I like it. Now, since we still got that same color over here, let's go with a little green on the other side. Pop that in. Bit of our yellow on the edges. Out here, intermixing as it falls down. Oh, it's like a teal color. Oh, that's cool. Oh, man. Come over here again on the other side. Not the dark side of the force. The light side of the force. Right? Come in there. Tap in a couple little bits, leaving our darker area along the back. Not everything has to be lit up the same. Very cool looking little thing, guys. Right, the more the darkness you cover up, the more you're not going to like it. So, don't do too much. Come in with our last little bit of our yellow ochre, if we can get any. Pop it off of this guy. A couple little droopies. Now, actually, since we got our red out as well, let's get some of that red into this guy. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, there it is with the red. But you can see we're not using so much red. I'm not trying to overdo it. I'm not trying to get rid of all the green or all the yellow. I'm trying to kind of save everything. And that way you have all these little different colors in there. Man, those are like little Christmassy bushes. I love them. Red, green, and blue. Red and green. A little bit of yellow on there. A little Christmas action. Those are Christmassy. Where's Mr. Hanky at, man? Alright, now, I think we're about done with the portals. Are we moving? No, we're not yet. Not yet. Let's get a little bit more of that brownish color. A little squeeze of it. Come back on these guys. Little touches, little touches. Doesn't have to be the brightest bit of brown you ever saw, right? There's going to be so much more beyond these things to look at that you're not really focusing on how bright of a tree you can get. Just want it to be little bits, little babies, little babers. Better in my hand. Little babers. Alright, is all we need. That guy up like that. Now, since I made a small little mistake, we're going to have to go back and put a little branch right off of this guy. Right, just to hide Josh's little mistake, that's all. Happy little accident right there. That's it. There we go. Oh, no, 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 no. I know. All you got to do is just touch it in the wrong place one time, you know what I mean? And you deposit that paint in the wrong spot. That looks very cool. I like that guy. A little touch. And especially when you're doing your 1,000th painting, you're kind of like, at least I am kind of like shaky. And so it's like trying to touch onto these things right at the right spot and not hit anywhere else is, it's a little nerve-wracking. Just a little. All right, now we're done with the portals. Woo! Portals are done! Yeah! Portals are done! Woo! All right. Let's not do that too much. Okay. Very cool. Now, in order to have our portals come out, right, they gotta be soft. So use your big old brush. Have them drag down like that, and then we're gonna catch them with some clouds. It's gonna be gorgeous, guys. Gorgeous, you guys. All those are on the same line, and then you got the one that drops down for the thing. Amazing, right? Look, even all the back, this guy's a little bit higher, but all of his are lined up nearly straight perfectly without even doing anything special, right? Do anything special. Do anything different, special, or weird, or whatever. Didn't do a single thing. Oh, man. Gosh, just one little thing can change it. And you're like, pow! Okay, let's take our fan brush. It doesn't matter what color that it has on there. We don't want any of the thick, or the liquid light mixed paint. That's not what you want. You want that thick, chunky paint. Let's say we'll catch this guy over here first. We'll come up like this. Oh, this purpley cloud is gonna be amazing. Right, now watch. Let's come over here. Grab up, I don't know, we'll use the Paint with Brand 2-inch brush because I'm running out of brushes. Look at this, guys. As it starts to drag down, you kind of go over, you're grabbing different places. You're coming up, you're catching that waterfall, mixing it down in different ways until you decide that you think it looks cool like that. Right? Little swipe up, swipe to the side, get your soft little cloud out there. Very neat. Very cool looking. You can bring this guy up a little bit higher. And around the edge. Hey now, little 3D action as we whip around the side. Back in here, so softly, turning the brush, not trying to grab the flowery bits or anything. There we go. Got a cool little, oh, we can pop a UFO in right down here too. Dudes, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. You take this guy like this and just go, just a little arc to him. That's all you gotta have. A little arc, and then you go back with your brush, make it soft. Same little arc, right? Don't want it to be crazy arced. Just like that soft little thing happening out there. You don't want them to be too thick either, so work it. Work it, baby. Work it. There we go. Right underneath him out there like that, and then you pop in a new little section of cloud, saving some of the dark bits from underneath. Right back there, and all of a sudden you just hidden a UFO inside of your clouds as it starts to emerge and come down. Very cool. Bang! Guys, wicked. Wicked, 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 wicked. Very softly touching, catching all those colors. Oh my goodness. My goodness, you guys. Holy craptacular. That looks awesome. All right, so Bob would be so proud. Thank you, I appreciate that. Now we're getting into all these crazy colors, you guys. We had yellow, we had green, we had blue. Now we got like pinkish, purplish, crimsony bits. I wonder what the rest of it is going to look like as we continue to light it up. It's like those old school things where you would scratch away the dark and reveal the color underneath. It's exactly what we got going on down here. All right, we're going to come in again. Let's take this next little section. Oh, it's all blue into the pinky bits. Gorgeous. Catch some of it up here. Catch me outside. Bang! Just like that. Remember, you don't want to have too much white paint everywhere, so leave these little dark things. All right, and as we come in and we start to intermix them together, maybe make that guy a little softer. All right, bringing them down, mixing it up, catching that waterfall, bringing it down. See how we kind of skip over different places? So there's light areas, there's dark areas, next to more light areas. They don't all have to be the same areas. These are like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon back here, you guys. Woo! Holy cow! Boom! I love that. There we go. Wicked. Remember, our ocean's going to start like way down here, so we got to fill in big old section of mountain as well. So let's not put too much paint over here on this side. Let's just grab up a little bit. And we'll come in like that. We'll catch our little waterfall. We don't want to have too much of a cloud over here because we're going to have all of that big old mountain on this side. All right, we mix it down. We're catching it. We're spinning it. We're dragging it. We're pushing it. We're putting it all over the place, right? And then all of a sudden you get this wicked bit of different colored clouds throughout our whole thing. It's amazing! It is literally amazing, guys. Amazing sauce. Now, in order of the 1000th painting, my good buddy DC brought cupcakes because he knows I can't really do like a cake, but I love cupcakes, guys. You guys, I'm going to show you a trick. Watch this. Try not to get too much paint on it. I think I did it wrong already, but we're going to go like this. Oh, geez. Let me put the paintbrush down. There's guaranteed to be paint on this cupcake. We're going to break off the bottom, put it on the top, and now you have a little cupcake sandwich. Oh my God! These are fantastic. But it's too much to eat. Even a little cupcake. I can't even do the little cupcake. It's too sweet. Now I got cupcake and paint on my hands, on my face. Are we good? Am I good? Let me see. Oh, it's so good. I can't believe we painted 1,000 paintings, you guys. It's insane. This one should be 1,005 because there's 5 paintings inside of it. Oh, those cupcakes are fire. Bailey, get in here and have a cupcake. Oh, they're so good. Okay. Back to painting, guys. Back to painting. Let's come up here. Let's grab a little bit of our black, a little crimson, a little blue. B, cupcakes, bro. Get on them. No? Are you sleepy?
No, my head was running at like 1,000 miles per hour.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, get some cupcakes, dude. They're really, really, really good. Soft. Delicious.
You touch them with your paint?
No! Get ones from the front corner, and then I wouldn't have touched it. Alright, let's mix up this blue, black, and crimson paint. If you don't already know the mix, that's the name of it. And, man, this one's got so many bristles in the painting. This is a proper, real painting, you guys. When you can have paintbrush bristles in the paint, then you know it's a real painting. Very cool. Very cool. Now, let's come over, make up a giant old mountain with our dark mix. We're going to come here, we're going to scrape it all up, and then we're going to come in and just wherever we want to be, just chuck it down. We're going to need a lot of paint for this guy. This is a big old mountain. Actually, we're going to need a bigger knife. We're going to need a much bigger knife. We're going to need a bigger boat over here. As we come in, scrape up with this giant artist loft knife, and boom, deposit. Deposit, deposit, change the angles, twist it, rotate it, come over here, a little bit more over there, a couple little bouncy bits, doesn't have to all be the same, doesn't have to look like a pyramid, you know what I mean? It's all however you want it to look. That's literally it. And we drag this guy off, he just gets softer and softer as he goes out that way. Now, we don't want to have too much paint for our mountain, otherwise it will grow like the dickens and just take off on us, right? Boom, 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 boom. Sliding it, mushing that paint around, taking it up, making more little bits. You can do whatever you want to do with this stuff, right? It's literally awesome. Look at the size of that mountain. Look at the size. It's not even as high as I want it to be. Let's come up in here. Scraggly. You ever heard of Fraggle Rock? This is Scraggle Rock. No? Thank you. I got the crowd laughing over here. Scraggle Rock, baby. Let's come in here like that. A couple more little dips. Saving a little piece of our cloud is all. Just a little touch. Boom! A little piece. That way the mountain looks enormous. Just enormous. Now, we've got to go back. We've got to spread this mountain out. So let's take our brand brush, 2-inch brand brush. Come in here, start sliding it out that way, pulling it out, maybe taking it, pulling it the other direction as well. Can't just go one way. You got to have both. All right, bring it down. Remember, we only want about 8 inches for our seascape at the bottom, so we can let this mountain grow a little bit. It comes down over here. It's a little bit longer. All right, maybe this side is pulled off in this direction. This side's coming down, and then it pulled off in that direction as well. So you have these, just a little piece, you know what I mean? And you're starting to place how you want your mountain to look, all based on the directional pulls of our brush. Right? You take this guy and pull the whole big face right down here. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Lighten it up. Get that whole big old sucker out there. Very cool. Now taking off of this side, pull him down, stretch him. Actually, I want it to come a little bit softer up. There we go. Spread it down like that. Bingo, bango. Pulling all in these different directions. Come over here and slide down this whole face of the mountain. Get this wicked sharp thing out there. So cool. Okay, now, we're going to need a lot of paint. Oh my goodness, we're going to need a lot of paint. Now, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect in my brain. Let's get a little bit of our white, a little bit of our blue. Just like that. We'll mix it up down here. How you like those cupcakes, B?
Good.
It's tasty. Super tasty. All right, little bits. Let's come off the inside corner. Just like that. As we start sliding down. Right, get our wicked little thing back in here. Maybe this guy is pretty much like a straight down cliff. And then all of a sudden it hit, went off that way. Right? Doesn't all have to be sliding down in the same direction. Get a little piece off of that guy. A little bit off of this guy. Maybe he was coming down this way. Who knows? A little bit of our blue over here and over there. All dependent on how much paint that we're putting down on our canvas, right? Letting it break in little different ways. Right? And we had a little piece where just a little bit of white came onto that side, right? Remember, all of our light's coming from the left. So now, let's come up in here. Small little bits, just little different things, right? That's all we got to do. Now, we're going to grab a lot of white. Fair amount of white, just a little bit of that blue that we created, so it's not a perfect white. And then, we're going to mix that guy up on this humongo knife. Look at the size of this knife. I'm scrape this guy up from off the back side of our mountains. Ooh, that's going to be cool looking. That's going to be neat looking, real jaggedy. All right, come up there, whip it down. Not trying to fill it into every single piece. Not every place has to be the same, or have the same amount of brightness or thickness to it. A bit of our blue, whip it off down that side. Right, a bit more of our white. cover it up over here. And just let it go down as far as you want, man. Honestly, ooh, fantastic. A little bit of excess down in here now. Going over it in long strokes to help it kind of blend together. A little piece of white maybe touched right off of here. I might have to switch to the small knife for these smaller bits. Just in this little section, might have to switch to the small knife. Drag it down. Different angles, right? Doesn't all have to be the same. We had our little piece over there, going down like that, right? Doesn't all have to flow the same, doesn't have to be the same. Make sure you leave those dark areas, though, in between. Those are vital. If you get rid of those darkness, little dark spots, you're going to be wondering where the heck they went. You're going to be like, oh no, why does it look so funny? Well, I've covered up all of my dark areas, right? There's a wicked little glacial peak right there, coming up over the tip top of that blue, and then down in different ways, right? That way it'll look different as we're going to do this thing. Very cool. Fill up a little bit more of our blue back here. Pulling it down, maybe a piece of our light picked up right there, and that got brighter on the way down, right? All depends on how we want it to look. Very cool. Now, especially with the bottom, we're not really worried about the bottom of the mountain so much because we're going to go back and make it soft, very lightly, right? I don't want to pull it so hard that I get rid of all of our little details. That wouldn't be very good. Right? If we got rid of all of our little details, then we'll have nothing there. There we go. Get that guy down like that. Woo! If we got rid of all of our little details and smushed them all, then what the heck are we doing? You know what I mean? Why are we up here? But if we just get rid of a little bit, we just soften it down just enough to have those details out there, right? But not have them be so up in our face, not so textured. Remember, the mountain's still very far away, so you don't have to do every piece doesn't have to be as textured as everything else, right? Especially as our foreground. Now, as we come up here, you're going to start to notice that I drop little bits, little brush marks down here each time that we come down and grab onto the paint. We're only touching the smallest little bits of paint, guys. I'm not trying to drag up the whole thing. And you can see how I've gone in different directions, right? These guys were going that way, so we're pulling it from that side. These guys are going this way, so we're pulling it from that side. Now we take our brush, a little bit of our white on it, come in here. Now the white is super powerful, so I kind of spread it out and then kind of go back over it, right? And that way you have a little bit of mistiness there. So we're going to come in and we're just going to start making little typewriter strokes for our bit of our mountain. And we're basically creating new sections of mountain without having to paint anything, right? Our brush is doing it all on its own. So let's say we pick it up like this and we start tapping out. We'll come up a little bit higher, just underneath, tap it out again, going in the same angles as our mountain. Right? Tapping it out, tapping it out, tapping it out. You can bring it up in here even, right? Bring that mist up a little bit. It doesn't all have to be in the same place. It doesn't have to be in the same spot, right? We can take it and make it a whole big cloud by adding more paint to it. Just by adding a little bit more paint, mixing it up a bit more, right? Take this guy down here, tapping it out, creating more bits of mountain. Now we've rotated our brush so we can see all those things. Now we got to come back up in here, tap this guy down different ways, and then again over here in different ways. That's going to make your mountain look more 3D, right? It's not about how fast you can do it. You don't have to be as fast as old Uncle Paint with Josh over here, right? You can take your time, go back, rewind the videos, try it again, do something different next time, right? A little spot out there. Ha ha! Very cool, right? Leaving a little bit of our snow, a little bit of our mistiness, much different in the way that they come down. Right, now we need a bit more of our white onto the brush just so we can have a bit brighter mistiness down here, right? And all we're doing is tapping in, bringing it out, just like a little typewriter. Bringing it down, bringing it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, right? All we're doing is tapping at these things in different areas and allowing it to blend in with all those things, and then turning our brush. See how the brush is rotating? Letting it blend in with all that other misty fogginess back there. Come back up here, mix up that misty cloud. Right? Real rough pressure sometimes, you get that stuff to blend away. Down into here. Even drag these guys with a bit more pressure just to have them down in there like that. Right, creating that little dark separation back there. Over into here. Mix it up. Go above your horizon line. Who cares? Who cares what's up there? Right? You can do whatever you want to do. Very cool. Oh man. Now I'm gonna get a little bit more of my bright white on my knife. And I want to streak it down just very lightly through into that mist back in here. It's like I'm having a sword fight. Streaking it down into the mist. Right, that way it's not all like a cut off line like that. You can see a couple little pieces, a couple little bits in different places. Soften it down a little. Just like that, you guys. You got a wicked awesome mountain right at the base of our humongous canvas scene. Woo! That's a pretty one if you ask me. Let's come over here. A little bit of that color. Just a little touch. Don't want to have too much. I don't know much, but I don't want too much. No? Sweet, you guys. This one's looking wicked rad. Wicked rad. Even the crowd thinks so. Even the crowd knows, you guys. Man, that's cool. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yvonne Davenport is correct. That is the cost for the painting. And yeah, painting number 1,000, and it is the exact cost of that number as well. So you can get it. You guys know where to get it. I don't want to say it because I get a warning on Etsy or on TikTok if I say it. So I don't want to be warned again. But you guys know where to go find my paintings. We've said it enough times. It's in the link somewhere. It's in my bio, and you can go find the Etsy store. It's very cool. Now that looks really neat. Really, really neat. Really, really neat. Let's come back in here a little bit brighter in this little section as we're dragging down, right? We're creating like a little valley in between these things. It's a little bit, so they're going to be lit up in different areas, and then a little bit of our blue off the back side as well, because you can't have a bit of light without having a bit of shadow as well. Just a little touch. Nothing crazy. It's not hard, right, DC?
Nope.
Just dropping it on and then forgetting about it. That's what you got to do. You don't want to focus on it too much, right? If you focus on it too much, then you're gonna be like, oh, that part's not perfect. Let me go back at it again, back again, and then you can't do anything. Forget about it. Let it rock and roll. Leave it out there. It doesn't want to be played with too much. It's not like us. Not like the men. We like that. The painting doesn't like that. Right? The painting just wants to be touched for a minute and then left alone. With the evil laugh. Very cool, guys. All right. Now we've got to focus on our seascape. We're about down to about this much. I might have to get down on my hands and knees. Ah. Man, that's a crazy big painting, you guys. Crazy big. Okay, so let's wash off the brushes. Let's clean up the palette. And then we'll do our very last section of our seascape down here. That's going to be very cool. We did this whole painting in 1 hour and 15 minutes. Woo! That's like me. That sounds like me anyway. Wow! Alright, so.
I like the spaceship.
Hour and what'd you say?
I like the spaceship.
Yes, the spaceship is fire. It's coming in. It's funny. Okay, now let's come in here. I need like a soundboard as well with like little drops that I can hit at the drop of a button. Damn it, that's the next thing I gotta buy. A soundboard and some speakers. I mean, I might as well just start renting out the studio space. If you want to do professional lit and sounding stuff, come to the Paint with Josh studio. Cause bruh. Bruh. Oh man. That reminds me of one of those Family Guy episodes where somebody finds out Brian can talk. He's like, "Oh, come on, talk." And they're like, "Bark," and he goes, "Brack." That's not a bark.
It reminds me of Dingo and the Baby.
Brack. Bruh. Every time I hear bruh, I think of those seagulls, like the memes with the seagulls, like, bruh.
Bruh.
Oh, man. Yeah, I definitely need a soundboard with some things that I can drop, some drops, they call it. I have one on my horn, right? My little horn app on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So when I spin the wheel, if it lands on like the try again spot, which is the losing place, it's gonna go bum 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 bum. It's like what the hell's that show now? I'm forgetting it. Don't tell me that. Price is Right. Price is Right. Bum 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 bum. I was testing the wheel earlier today, and it landed on like one of the grand prize slots. And I was like, "Oh, please don't land on that in the middle of the show, please. I need you to land on like the try again is a win for me, right? That means the house wins and you guys lose, which is fine. I need to have more try agains on there than I do.
Does anybody want a cupcake?
Oh God, I have one actually right here.
Does anybody at home want a
Oh,
cupcake?
does anyone else want a cupcake? You guys want to, or just like face plant into these cupcakes? Thank you, DC. I love these. They're perfect as well because I was thinking about the cake. I was like, it's gonna be hard to show the cake. I did my little cupcake trick with the made it into a little sandwich.
I thought I was the only person that did that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
No, yeah. I saw it on online somewhere. Let me just talk with my mouth full because that's sexy. All right, we got the sugar rush for the second half. Well, for the fourth out of the fifth of the fifth part of the painting. Now, this is the part when you're at home painting your own painting and you're like, are you kidding me? I just flicked off the brush into the trash can. Dude! What the frick? Bro! This is a brand new one, too. It's not supposed to come off like that. All right, let's do some surgery here. Get the tools. Crank this sucker down. So maybe it won't come off. I get a little crimp. That's funny, though. I just barely pulled it out of the thing. Barely pulled it out of the pack today. And it flew off. I mean, when you think about it, the brushes are only $10 for 7 brushes. So it's like $1.30 a piece. I don't imagine they would stay good forever, right? All right, so we've done our tree. Like the trees lately have been kind of my downfall. I've been getting to my tree section and been going, dang it, I wish those looked better. I wish I could do them better. These ones are fire in absolutely every way. Now, the only way to mess up this painting is the bottom, right? We're still yet to do that part. So stick around if you want to see what the bottom turns into. It's only going to be, I would say, about 20 more minutes, maybe, to do a seascape, and then we'll be all set and ready. So start coming up with your names. What are you going to name this painting? You guys know where to get it? I used to have TikTok Shop, but it pissed me off, so I don't want it anymore. But you guys know where to get my paintings. If you don't know, there are people in the comments that are going to help me tell you where to get it, since I can't say it on TikTok. Otherwise, they try to reduce the number of people that'll see my videos. So, you guys know where to go to get it. Boo! Boo this man! But you know where to go get it, and if not, check me out on Facebook, because I'll go post it at the end when we're all done, and that'll have the link to it there too. So, now, let's get in here, guys. Let's get down on my hands and kneesies. Actually, I need to redo some paper towels real quick, because I always end up putting my arm right down in the place where I've been wiping all of my paint. And it just makes me mad. So let's clear off this palette so we can get this fresh look. Put that over here. Can you guys even see me on the screen? Just my head on YouTube, just a little teeny tiny. This is the first time I've actually referred to my head as a teeny tiny head. I normally say I have a giant head. Can you see my giant head on YouTube? Yes. You can see it from space, Josh. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, guys. Just let me know. Thanks for the feedback. You can see my giant head from space. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay, one more bit of paper towels. Since this is like 5 paintings, I had to set up for a whole other painting. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Over there, you guys are seeing some hidden, some behind-the-scenes stuff right now. Behind the scenes. Zip, zap, zoop. Like that. Okay. Now, should have had some theme music going while I was setting that up. But I'm using all of my devices, and therefore I don't have any theme music. Okay, guys. Here we are. Remember, if you want to get that purple paint, it's that dioxazine something or other. Woo! All right. Oh, that last sip. Sometimes it's the best, sometimes it's like the worst, like the dregs of the Red Bull. That one was not good. Oh.
Hey, Jay. Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Check out this one.
What's up?
You asking?
Oh yeah, no, it's a poll. It's all good. My mods are putting up polls for different stuff.
Just checking.
Shut your face. This painting sold? No friggin' way. No friggin' way. That's unreal. So, cha-ching. So, the buyer will get a chance to spin the big wheel for a prize for purchasing the painting. So that's awesome, guys. Holy cow. Never did I think that a painting this expensive would sell during a live show. I've set my own record for myself. Now, let's come back in here. Bruh. Let's come back in here. And let's try not to mess it up. Now that it is sold, let's try not to mess it up here. Come back over like this. Little bit of a soft little faraway seascape, right? Doesn't have to even be the straightest thing over here. We're going to cover it with a whole big bunch of stuff anyway. So, only about doing half, making it a little thicker, little thicker, little thicker, little thicker as we go. So you get a little thicker triangle and a little thinner triangle towards the end. Let's take our Paint with Bram 1-inch brush. We're going to go like this, back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. Just softening it out, stretching it. Look how far we can pull it. Almost all the way across the canvas, right? You don't have to pull it that far, but you can. Now, we're trying not to keep any color going beneath those areas. So, as we come in with our bit of our... Who bought this painting, by the way? I gotta know in the comments. Who was it? Who was it? Thank you for Get Verbs. I love you. I am pretty wholesome. Thank you. Go did? No way. No way, dude. Well, that's good, because I think they live in the same state as me, so it won't be so expensive to ship. All right, let's come up here and drop down a little triangle, or a little mustache and a little mustache, right? Come off the back with our little mustachy guy, just a couple little bits. Doesn't have to be too crazy. Bring it over here. Same kind of downward angle on each side, right? And we're going to make it soft in the distance. It's far away. No one cares what that one looks like. This is not the focal point of the wave, right? So it's just a bit of color in a bit of a little triangle-y shape. Now, or a mustachy shape. Now we come back in, a little bit more paint, a little bit higher. Drop that guy down in there. Drop him off to the side. Blend it back. All that purple dioxazine paint is gorgeous, baby. Woo! That's a sweet color. I'm going to have to use that more often. Now, we're coming in here. We're sliding it back. We're whipping it. We're sliding it. We're whipping it. We're sliding it. And it's going all the way. See how we kind of pull over to the side and you get those little bits? Because these are the only parts that we're going to see. We don't see the back half of the wave. We're not painting the back half of the wave. We're just painting the front. The one piece that we can see. We're not looking at it from above like a helicopter, right? No, no, no. Now this guy, let's go over here. And then maybe down like that too. Why not? He's not even the big main crasher yet. Come over here. Taking the paint, sliding it back. Right? Change the angle a bit. Slide it back. It's a little softer, a little flatter as it gets over to the side. You see the different change in the directional pulls like that, right? Swipe it over, and then just make it soft. Woo! Woo, Nelly! That's sweet. All right, now this guy comes over here for our last little piece of wave, and you can see all of these points they're not on a crazy angle. They're not one above the other. They're pretty much flat. It's a little downward angle, but they're pretty much flat, and it leaves this ridge, almost like the ridge of one of those guys from Avengers. Remember when the things came and they came flying through the sky out of the black hole, and they had those ridges on their backs, all made of metal and stuff? That's kind of what this thing starts looking like the more and more that we do it, right? So We need Captain America over here, boy. Captain America. Alright, now let's get into our big crasher. The big crasher's got to come up a bit higher than the rest of these guys. You can't put him down here lower. It's not going to make sense. He needs to be bigger. He's closer. He's more action, right? So we're going to come up here like this. Slide it down. Hit our little pivot point. Stop, stop, bam. Stop, stop, and roll, right? Right there. Now we're going to come up over our horizon just a touch, dropping it down in this big old arc shape like that. Touching our brush. Little flick, 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 flick. Just like that. Look at that angle of our wave like that. Right? Getting smaller, down, going over there, rotating around. Right? We're going to have a little bit of eye back in here. So just a little bit of paint is all we're going to need. We can take this guy and start swiping him back. And you can see we're just using the white paint that's already on the brush. And it's interacting with all of these other bits of paint. Now what happens when we get to our little pivot point right here? Does anybody know? Does anybody know in the comments below? Right? We start pivoting and we start coming back to that same spot. Same spot, same spot, same spot, right? Helps it look more round, in my opinion, from a different space. Just like that. Don't want to have it go all the way out because we're going to go back and soften it with our 1-inch brush. But just like that, folks, I can't wait to use the spinny wheel and give away something for free. It's going to be so fun. So stick around if you want to see the spinny wheel in action. I know DC does. I know the crowd does. Right? Now, since we talked about our pivot point, when we come back to do our other side of the wave, I didn't think I would use that little amount of white paint. Remember how I told you how big the thing was? Now, if we're going to come up here and we add a little bit more brightness onto the top, right? Just to have that light shining down wherever it's shining from, it's hitting. We'll come over here like this, grabbing up the paint. We're going to rotate the angle of our brush and start this way. It's not over here anymore. It's not vertical. It's not to the side. It's the other side. And then we're going to touch here and throw off another little thing. And then use this as our pivot point, coming back to this same spot over and over and over and over and over and over and over again in order to make our fanned out little heart-shaped looking bit of a wave, right? And you go back and you kind of fill it into your liking. I like to leave the little fingery bits out along the edge just to save that one little last piece of dark separator that's in there. Drop a bit of our white right on the front side so it's a bit brighter than the one is in the back. Okay, fix our angle a little bit. Poof! Got a really cool heart-shaped looking wave right here. And using that pivot point, making it as big as you want to make it, as far out as you want to go, round as you want to go, right? It's all going to change. Look at that! Oh, it's wicked. Okay, come back in here with our 1-inch brush, taking the eye of our wave, and we're just going to start to push it up towards our next bit of color, but we don't want to touch it. Oh, God, we don't want to touch that next piece of color up there. You got to keep that little darkness in between. Now, normally when we're doing seascapes, we talk about it a lot more than we have so far, but we have said the word, and who knows it? What's this dark piece that separates all of our colors throughout our whole painting? Does anybody know? I'm going to be back there in less than 10 seconds to pin the first comment I see. Who knows what it's called? Because we try to save it. We try to retain it. We don't want it to go away. So, Hope, she knows dark separator. Hope! Wicked! Very cool. Okay, now we've got all these things all softened out, right? We've kept our dark separators. Now, I mean, normally I ask you guys how many dark separators we have in a painting. So right now, tell me how many we have. Before you look and cheat, you big cheaters, right? How many dark separators do we think we have? Comment it in the comments below. And the first person that gets it correct, right, is going to win something for free out of the freebie spinning wheel. So, get it correct. How many we got, bro? How many we got? Now, you guys, I'm going to have to count them myself. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Don said 25.
7, 8.
Hope says 20.
Okay. Okay. Hang on. How many people we got? Let's see.
It's a lie. Everyone's guessing.
Everyone's guessing. Uh-oh. I think, as far as I counted so far, right, it was the first person to say 13. And that person, I think, oh, there it is, Ty. Hang on, is that the first person? Ty. That's the first person to say 13. Hang on, let me pin his comment real quick. Tie-dye DLT. Oh, God damn it. There we go. Pin the comment. There we go. 13 dark separators so far. So, tie-dye DLT. If you stick around until the end of the show, I'm going to spin the wheel and I'll give you something away for free. If you stick around that far. If you're not here by the time that we do it, then you won't win a poster, a hat, a crappy candle, a hoodie, a backpack, or a t-shirt, right? Those are what you get as far as winning items. Oh, I was waiting on the... I was waiting on something. I don't know what I was waiting on. So, we're going to give away something to tie-dye DLT because they knew the amount of dark separators and guessed 13, which is what I counted, right? Is if we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13, right? That's our last of the dark separators. Actually, back in here is the one I missed. So, very cool though. You're going to win something, and we'll do the spinny wheel, and who knows, you might not win. It could hit the try again section, in which case you would lose. Which is not my intention. I want you to win something. I just hope it's not the most expensive hoodie and backpack that we have. That'd be bad for me. That'd be bad for me. Okay, let's come back in here. We're going to finish this sucker up. So, the buyer gets the spin and tie-dye DLT. If they're still sticking around, we'll get a spin at the end of the show. Now, let's come back in here, and as we decide where our wave is going to sit, we're going to start to slide back, making these 6-inch long straight lines, basically. That's all you got to do, right? This guy, we're going to end up matching up down here, change the angle of his wave, slide down this way, slide over that way, and eventually it's going to line up with all of our little flicks that we had, right? All these little pieces. That's why you don't have to worry about them too much. And as we come in here, we're going to get long and straight, and then we're going to get curly, curly, curly Q as it comes in. Tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter little circles as it comes in and wraps around, right? And we're going to pull it out just like this. Even all of that gorgeous color of our wave back in there, guys. Boom! That's going to be fantastic. Holy cow. Woo! Nelly! That's going to be a cool one. So, again, the more paint that you put out here, the brighter it gets. And the longer it gets, and come off our backside with this guy into a different little angle and help push his wave this way. It's like a little ramp, right? Come up over here, down over there, up over here, down over there, up over here, down over there. Leaving a little ramp, just a little thing. A little connection spot right here, too. Very nice. Okay, now we're going to come back. We're going to take our bit of our white on our brush, and we're going to come back and leave a bit of sand below the bottom of our water, right? And so I like to go about 1/4 of an inch below. We're just going to drop a little bit of white, and it's going to interact with whatever color is already on the canvas. In this instance, it's purple. So we put that purpley mix down here, right? So no matter where you put your white, we take it down there, and now we're going to take a big old Bob Ross 2-inch brush, and we're really going to push hard on it, right? Not up here in our waves. We're still going to be soft up here in our waves. But when we get down to our sand, that's when you go push real hard, and you get rid of all of those little streaks, right? So we're going to have to do 3 things, and I sort of already told you what we're going to do and what we're going to have to do. So it should be easy for you guys to answer. We're going to have to do 3 things. We're going to have to pull it down. We're going to have to slide it one way. We're going to have to slide it back the other way. So, do we do it with little pressure or with heavy pressure? Little pressure or heavy pressure? And I'll show you. Right here, we'll do it with a little bit of pressure. And then we'll just look at it and go, okay, who's going to leave their sand looking just like this and walk away to the next step? Anybody? If you would, if you wanted to say a little bit of pressure, I'd leave my sand looking just like that and walk away, yeah? No? See, everyone's saying no, I wouldn't leave my sand looking like that. We need to use a lot of pressure, Josh. So let's come in here, lots of pressure, bend the bristles down real hard, pushing them, shooting it off the canvas, pulling it down, taking all these vertical streaks, really pulling down hard, right? Really whipping it in there. Now, who thinks that looks like sand? And you can be honest. Tell me the truth, right? Does that look like sand? If it doesn't, right, then tell me what it does look like. Say, I don't know, it looks like an ice wall or a waterfall or whatever. Or you just tell me what you think. What do you think it looks like? We'll come down a little bit lower here on Facebook. There we go, guys. Whoo! Whoo, Nelly! Yeah, I was just counting down through one single portal. So we see a misty wall, an ice wall, not sand is what you guys are saying, right? That's okay, because I told you we're going to have to pull down, and then we're going to have to pull one way and pull the other way. So here's the next question. Do we pull it away from the wave first, or do we push it towards the wave first, and then do the opposite second? You got to let me know. Remember, we've been talking about these dark separators. Dark separator, dark separator, dark separator, dark separator. You don't want to get rid of those dark separators. So, are we going to push towards the wave first, or are we going to pull away from the wave first? We got towards, we got away, we got away, away, aways, says Harry Very Fay. Let's see. Bill says away, Irish says away, Ozzy says away, Hope says towards. Hope? Hope? You should know by now, Hope. Okay. Remember, just think about this. If we were going to push it towards the wave, don't you think those two bits of colors would instantly touch together and we'd lose our dark separator completely? So let's pull it away from the wave first. I can't even get down that low. Away from the wave with heavy pressure. The same amount of heavy pressure that we did making our downward strokes. Right? And then we push it towards the wave. Okay? To shrink our dark separator. So you can come in here. You don't want to have the light, the purple touch the purple, right? So you got to keep a little bit of that darkness in there. And you squeak it on in. Boom, just like that. Changing the whole shape of your wave, making it slightly darker in here, which is fine. Come back a little bit more white. Down underneath. Right underneath the brightest part of our wave, in my mind, would be the brightest space. Pull it away. And the more that you push on it, the darker it's going to get. So however light you want to have it, boom, that would be just like that. Now, I never like to get the paint all the way down here in the corner. I like to leave it a little bit darker. It just helps my brain. Helps my brain. Softness off there. Now we got to come back and make our splash, and we're going to throw paint at the canvas and be all done. I told you it'd be about 2 hours. What are we up to now? Oh, yeah, we got 22 minutes left. Well, 22 minutes.
All your numbers are up.
Yeah, what do you mean? What we got?
All your viewers are up.
Heck yeah. Wicked, guys. Remember, start coming up with a name for this painting. If you want to name it, you got to help me out. I don't know what to call this one. It could be like Triple Portal Mountain Seascape. That's what I would call it. The painting number 1000. Dude, we could call it Thousand Island Wave. I don't know. Thousand Island Dressing. All right, we're going to get some brushes all cleaned up here. How's the lighting, DC?
I think it's fire.
Doesn't it look so much better now?
It's nice.
Like, and I don't even have the ring light on.
Yeah.
It's not even on. It's that was the thing that was so super overexposed, and it was causing all these glare issues.
This thing looks better in person. Like, it looks great online, but it's freaking huge. It's
Oh,
gorgeous.
it's massive.
It's beautiful.
What's that size of the one you have? A 30 by 40, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I gave DC one after our first gallery session, and only because I didn't want to bring it back home. I didn't want to transport it back home. So I gave him one that's, 4 inches taller and the same, no, 30 by 40 you said.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's 6 inches smaller
Yeah, but it's
and 4
taller.
inches taller. So that's wicked.
I look at that thing every day.
I'm sure you do.
I look at it and first thing in my mind.
First thing in the morning. Damn, son! Alright, let's mix up a little bit of our last of our dark colors that we like to use. And if you haven't known or if you haven't seen it in the comments already, here's your last chance to figure it out before the next time that I ask you on the 1001st. 1001st. Painting.
Yeah.
I like 1001th.
Me too.
Okay, so we take a little bit of that black mix. That's all we need. A little bit of that darkish mix. Now we're going to grab up our fan brush and we're going to put in our last dark separator right here. And then we're going to fill it with white. Doesn't make any sense, I know. Just stick with me. Just watch. This is the part that I like the most on the cameras, right? Because you can see the pile of paint. It's not overly exposed. It's not too bright. And that way you can see me wiggling it through, creating all these little things and little differences in the palettes. Now, let's come back over here and grab up the brush and start slapping into it. It's almost like you're using chopsticks, right? Come up here, pop that into my mouth, and we just slap into it like that. Just the corner of the brush first. You come up, you start to slap, and then you move. And you're staying underneath that white, but you're coming up into it as well. You're not trying to just stay underneath it hidden. You want to come up and cup that white like a butt cheek. Come up and grab it. Grab that sucker. Whoop! Little boop for your old lady, right? Or your old man, whatever. You can go grab a guy's butt too. It don't matter. We like it. We like it. We like it. We're going to come over here. Now that we get to the bottom, we're just really going to go ham smash crazy, right? A lot of paint onto the brush. A lot of mistiness. We're basically just going to create a whole nother little cloud out of all of this dark paint mixed with the light paint on the top. All right? Get all that mistiness just everywhere. Huge bit of crasher. All right? Just smashing it in. Covering up all the color underneath. Boom, 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 boom. Guy out of there. Pop, pop. Now, we're going to go back with our light color and brighten it all up, you guys. It's going to be really cool. So, let's get the color off of this brush. See if we got, yep, we did. And even though I cleaned the paper towels and put down new paper towels, I still got paint on my arm. Yep. Doesn't matter what I wear, what I put down, what I try to protect myself, it's always paint somewhere. Always paint somewhere. Now, let's come back in. Let's grab up our liquid white onto the brush. Remember, it's very drippy, this paint. Super drippy paint. It'll actually flick off the fan brush just like that. We're going to go back in, and you can see the difference instantly, right? It's very wet and sloppy versus our thick icing. It's almost like milk versus icing, like cake icing. All right, so we get a little bit of that on there. Don't want to have all liquid white. Don't want to have all titanium white either. You got to mix both of them. Get it onto the brush. Come up here again, or down here in this case, and we're going to start slapping above the darkness, and as soon as you do, you got to move. Move, 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 move. Look at that. A couple little splashy, crashy bits that are coming off the tip-top of our water. All right, just all crazy, all sorts of things. And we come over here and we start to ride our shadows all the way down, but we're not trying to cover up the shadows. All right, we're just trying to tap in there, a couple little bits, little here, little there. Little things, not trying to cover up every single bit, right? Get all that motion of the ocean in there. Now, once we get down here, we're going to really just go crazy smashing on all of that purpley bits. All right, but what have we left in between all of these little things? What's in between all those little bits of brush stroke over there? Can you tell me? Do you know? Because we've said it before, and we'll say it again. Who knows what's in between all those little bits? Country native knows the dark separator. Woo! Yeah, baby. I definitely need a soundboard for sure. Okay, otherwise DC has to be here for every show. And he's not gonna like that. So we're gonna come in with our 1-inch brush, our Paint Bram 1-inch brush. We're gonna go very lightly. Now we do this twice, so don't judge me on what it looks like after the first go. Right? You do it twice. Come in here just very lightly, mixing it up, creating all of this tumultuous, splashy crashiness. Now, I don't want to go too far up my line. Some of it has to be wet and falling over. Some of it's already hit and done and exploded. Boosh! Right? Just like that. Take this guy at the base and pull him out to the side. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Leave that little bit of darkness back there. It just adds more depth, more shadow. It doesn't have to be so big. But, right around the edge, right? Very cool. Now we come back and do it again. Where's my brush? Ah! Did I put it away already? Alright, we come back. We grab up a little bit more of our liquid white paint onto the brush with the titanium white. You don't want to have them different. Gotta have a little bit more. That's not enough. It's all about the right kind of consistency that you look for. And that's something that you have to practice, right? It's not something that can be taught. It's something that you got to practice. We're going to come up here. Touch in little different places, leaving little wider spots. Bits of crashy water as they're coming down. Then we go over it again. Boom, 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 boom. Everywhere. But less than before, right? And what have we left in between all those little things again? What have we left in between? I'll give you one last chance for a shout out before we get done. What have we left? In between, all those little things, even though they're not as dark as they were initially, right? Still left the dark separators, Maya! There you go, girl! Dark separators. Now, let's come back. Let's mix it up again. Last question. Do we do it with less pressure, or do we do it with more pressure than we did it the first time? Ted, let me know. In my mind, if we did it with more pressure, right, it would end up looking exactly the same. And if we do it with less pressure, we're going to get some areas that are lighter and some areas that are darker amongst all of our little broken bits of water back here, right? Boom, 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 boom. Very light. Take the thing at the bottom, wherever you don't want it. Pull it out straight. Right, feed it back into the wave like that. Boosh! All that crashy splashiness. Just amazing, right? Now, the funnest part of the whole thing is we switch to a smaller brush that's got more flickability, which is the best word. One of my followers, K. Jones, said that one time. Flickability, right? And it means, and take a brush with a very small little bristle, and it's gonna flick better, right? Shoots out like that. So
we gotta copyright that one.
yeah, right. The flickability.
Flickability.
It's not even mine. I didn't even make it up. It was one of my fans. There we go. Now we put that liquid white out on the end. It's all into the brush like that. And as we flick it off, it should anyways, shoot off of our palette very easily and end up getting all over our wave, our splashy crash. And the more that you do it, the more little depthy areas that you'll have, because you'll have 10 million little sprays in here that are hiding all of those other things. Holy cow! A little bit more. It's not enough. Not enough for old Paint with Josh. Come back in here. Boom, 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 boom. You don't want a whole lot of paint, but you do want a whole lot of little sparkles. Because those little spray guys, oh, just fantastic. Tell me it doesn't add just 10 million tons of depth back there.
Damn, son.
Because it do. Oh, that's funny. Because it do. So, just like that, guys, that is our seascape. That is the 1,000th painting spectacular. Holy cow! Woo! Hang on.
Hit the light
The
show.
light show! Oh, it got stuck. It's going to be like going to be fast with it. Whoa, light show! Oh, the painting is done, you guys. Wicked. All right, let's come over here. I need to throw a couple little bitty stars out in here, just in different places. Little bits of stars. Maybe there's some water coming off the waterfalls or something as they're catching down here. Little things, a couple little spots up there.
Jay.
Yep.
Birds.
Yeah, I got it. We got to include the buyers as well.
Oh, facts.
Yeah, the buyer bought it. It's a portal painting, which means the buyer gets to put their birds inside one of the portals.
This thing is epic. It looks so beautiful in person. This is crazy.
Dude, it's huge. Their choice too. What if it was Go that purchased the painting? Where do you want the birds in this one, that one, or that one? And how many are in your family? All goes into where I'm going to place them. So let's in the meantime get our UFO to get his little lights on him over here. Go off center, and then you go and fill him to the edge. Wicked. Okay, so how many birds does Go have? And which one do we want to put it in? And the one on the right, 4 birds. Gotcha. Simply done. And can we eat this last piece all in one bite? Whoa! Oh, it's so sweet. Oh my god. It's too sweet for me. Mmm.
You said vanilla with vanilla icing.
Oh, it's so rich. I love it. I know what I said. I could just normally only eat like 2 bites of cake, and then it's just too much. Like, it's too sweet. 4 birds up in the portal, coming up. 1, 3, 4, and 2. Very cool. All right, now to add the Paint with Josh birds flying through the 10,000th painting. Dang!
You're gonna get there, son.
I will. Maybe another 10 years, I'll be there. Goodness gracious. All right, our guys are gonna fly through. We can put them here, 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 or under our UFO, or above our UFO, really. You could go anywhere. I could put them in the portal up there if I wanted to. But normally when we do this kind of seascape, they go down here flying low along the ocean. So, let's do it Like that. Ba-boom, you guys. Sign this bad boy right over here and go get it in the drying section. My goodness. We're gonna start coming up with a title for this too, guys. What are we gonna title it? What are we gonna title it? Out there, soften, soften, soften. A little dark separator right there. Woo! Holy moly! Very cool. Wow! Sounds like Owen Wilson for some reason in my head. Going, wow! Wow! That's what it sounds like to me. Alright guys, holy cow. We got 2 giveaways to do as well. And one to the buyer first. Should we do the buyer first? No, we should do the buyer second. I saved the best for last. Yeah. So we'll do, what was the name again? Tie-dye DLT, whatever it was?
Tie something.
Tie-dye DLT. Are they still here? 1,000 Realms in Time. That's a cool name.
Pretty dope.
Actually, yeah, let's name it first. Is that the name you want to do? 1,000 Realms in Time. Just give me a yes or no if that's it. If that's the one you want. I mean, it's already pinned. Okay, tie-dye's still there. Good. We're gonna do you right after the title.
What about Rick's portal gun?
Rick's portal gun. I like that. All right. Hey, somebody go repin. Go repin her her title, please. 1,000 Realms in Time. 1,000 Realms. Look at the size of this canvas.
That is a good one, though.
Holy cow! It's almost too big for my tennis elbow to lift up.
That's your tennis elbow.
There we go. My painting elbow, we'll call it. So, big old monster black canvas. I'm gonna sign it. Should we sign it up here, actually? This is too small of a space. There we go. Number 1,000. Holy cow. Holy moly. Now, what do we call it again? Bruh. What do we call it? 1,000 Realms in Time? What?
Yes.
Shoot. Somebody pin the title again, please. Girls, pin it. 1,000 Realms in Time. Thank you.
Thank God you can spell.
100 realms. Realms in time.
If I had to do that, it'd be all gibberish.
Oh yeah,
It would
I know.
never.
Now we're going on 11/4/23, and London has been frantically working on paintwithjosh.com. I said working, and I started to write out working. Paintwithjosh.com. She's been updating the website. It's going to be literally amazing. Go London! And I am ever so grateful for her help in everything that she does for me. Even though we're split up, she still loves me like we're married, and hates me like we're married as well. And she's always wanted me to succeed and have it be easy, and she's just always down to help, and I just love her for that. So thank you, London, for doing all that you've done to the website and all that you continue to do for me. For my 1,000th painting, she is my rock. Even though, like I said, we're not together, I could call her anytime I need something or need to vent about something or cry about something. She's always there for me. I hope she's watching. And even though we're not together, I still love you, hon. Love you. You're my best friend, and I don't know where I'd be without you. You were there for number 1, and you're here for number 1,000. So that just shows you something about the kind of lady that she is, right? Very cool. Very cool. That going. Oh, and she has a candle company, by the way. What's the damn website again? thecrappycandles.etsy.com. Get over there and check it out. So, Wicked, let's get the giveaway wheel going out. And then...
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hit those likes, buddy.
You got to hit the likes, guys. How many likes did we get up to, by the way? Because if it's not enough, I'm not spinning this wheel. 72,000. That's weak. All right, tie-dye DLT. Here comes your free spin. We've got...
Hit the lights, hit the lights.
Oh, the lights. Got the lights. Zip. Woo! Okay, so we got the poster, the canvas print, a free spin, right, where you can spin again. Try again means you lose. You absolutely lose. We've got a backpack, a t-shirt, another try again space, another free spin, Bailey's choice, where she gets to pick what you get. A hat, a hoodie, a poster, a candle, another hat, another poster, or a canvas print. Ready? Here we go. Let's do it. Come on, try again. Come on, try again. Hey, you want a crappy candle? Tie-dye DLT wins a crappy candle from the Crappy Candle Company. The Crappy Candle. That's really cool. So, I will send me a message. I'll get you in contact with the Crappy Candles, and they can pour. They pour your candles live on TikTok. They're really cool. So, awesome. That's fantastic. Already got paint on this thing already. Wicked cool. What's that for?
You got paint on it.
Oh, I got paint on it. Yep. So, you got a tie-dye candle. That'd be cool to tie-dye the candle. I agree.
That'd be sweet.
All right, now let's do the giveaway for the buyer of the painting. We're gonna have a giveaway here. All right. Give it a big old spin, and let's see what happens. What's it gonna be? Try again, baby. Try again. Oh, Bailey's choice! Bailey! Bailey, we need you! Bailey Pumpkin! Is she asleep? Oh, if she's asleep, I'm gonna be so bummed, Bailey. Bailey! We need you! Well, congratulations. Bailey will choose what you get. And is she asleep?
No.
Oh. Bailey's choice! Look, we landed on Bailey's choice! What are you gonna pick, Bee? Woo! What are they going to get? The winner bought this painting, right? So they get one of these items. What are they going to get? What are they going to get?
Poster.
A poster! Right there! A poster of your choosing. Just because Bailey said so. Thank you, Booger. I love you. And yeah, this has been awesome. I love this wheel. This wheel is going to be a lot of fun, you guys. We're going to have lots of fun, lots of giveaways with that wheel. We gave away a crappy candle, and we gave away a Paint with Josh poster of your choosing. It's going to be fantastic. So, I love you guys. Thank you for staying with me. It's been 2 hours just about. We had an awesome time. I wanted to show you, and I wanted to show this in the beginning, but I forgot. Look at my brand new signage. Woo! Holy cow, dude. I ordered this from a little company in Canada, I think. One of London's friends got her one for the crappy candles, and I was like, where did you get that? I need one for Paint with Josh so I can go take it down, put it at the gallery, and have my little sign down there. It's going to be really cool. So, like I said, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, for hanging out. We're going to get rid of YouTube and Facebook. We'll hang out on TikTok for just a few minutes and do the wrap-up show. And, yeah, so thank you guys for being here for my 1,000th painting. I cannot believe that we got to 1,000, that I would ever be standing right here with these fantastic lights streaming to you fantastic people at 1,000 paintings. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here, and thank you for being a fan, and I love you all, and until I see you guys again next time, take care, have the rest of a good day, bow, bow. Holy moly!